there's a handful of different ways of assigning or allocating memberships. Do you want to talk us through how you guys have decided to do it? And Ben, if you're able to kind of show us as Paul discusses this.
Yep. So I don't know how much of the audience know about Timo doing subs, but at the front end of Timo, you have all your members, and they're all members of separate teams. So you set up your teams. So, for example, our senior section, we've got men's ones down to men's nines, ladies ones down to ladies nines, and we split by senior section, men's and ladies, and subcategories, all that. But you also have what's called products, which is basically your membership categories, for one of a different way, where you assign the actual amount you want them to pay. So for Wayfarers, our senior subs are going to be about 350, say, for a full-time member for the season. You could just assign every member individually. What I decided was the best way, was to have a separate team that matched our product. So a full-time member, we had a full-time member category or team, which aligned with the product. And we have occasional members, which is only 7 games and training. And we had youth members, which is only 23. So as you can see, we've got various categories with various subs assigned to them. So rather than going through and assigning every team to have full memberships, whatever, because everyone's different, we did it by assigning them to the membership category, as in the team, and then assigning all the subs to that team. So our full-time member product, we assigned to everybody that was a member of the full-time member team, so that it did a one big mass dump, if that's the right way, or mass assigning of everyone that's in that team. It also helps us to give a breakdown of how our members are split, rather than doing it via just the amounts they're paying. We can actually split by teams and do downloads and download reports and search for teams. So we can say, of our 400 members, we've got 300 full-time, 70 occasionals, and 30 youth. Ballpark. Just making up numbers.
Sure. And
I don't know how well I have answered that, but
yeah, and I think those who see the screen share that Ben's doing, he's kind of showing us how easy it is to allocate memberships to a group. So Paul, I'm sure you've been in this part of the platform before. How have you found this part of the platform? So this is our payment center, for those who don't know, where you get an overview of who owes what and how much each people have paid and what products they owe and those kind of things.
Yeah, so this bit I found really easy, thankfully, because once we've created the products and set up we do by installments as well, so members don't have to pay everything at once. If they've been with us for a number of seasons, they can do it in 3 payments to sort of break it down, make it easier for them. So setting up the installments, once you've got it all set up, once you assign it, it's very easy after that. And in fact, going back to your question earlier, Joe, about why we moved, another key reason was when we wanted to edit subs in Timo, the senior admin, so myself and the treasurer and the chairman and head of the section, whatever, we can go in and we can just edit people's invoices. So for example, we've had quite a few injuries this season, long-term injuries, and we give refunds for long-term injuries. So someone was out since Christmas, so we refunded half their subs. I could do that in about 10 clicks, and it would automatically update all the key systems so that we could see visibility, who owes what, who doesn't, how much we're expecting to receive, those kinds of things. And we could add a little reason as to why I've edited that, so that even though I'm making a change, the treasurer could download with notes and say, why is this person, full-time member, only paying 200? And they would see that I've made the change to say long-term injury, ACL in December or whatever. And so, okay, fair. But we can do that visibility across the platform work really well.
Great. And in terms of there's always a few stragglers who struggle to get their money to you. How have you found it chasing those people up, and have you had to do it all yourself, or has there been ways that you've got your managers and captains to do it?
So I think that's mainly coming down to our comms and us rather than the app. I'm sure every club has it. You have the apathy of some members that just don't want to pay. Some are trying to, I don't think any of our members are trying to be deceitful, but some of them are just woeful at admin to the nth degree. And even though this is really easy, you can say, look, you've got a red tick. It tells you that you owe X amount. How do I pay it? Using the pay button. You know, I can't help that much that far. But in terms of finding out who hasn't paid, that was pretty simple, but it's by downloading the report and comparing the amount owed to the amount paid, and then just filtering. So you have to do a little bit of work in the spreadsheet, which takes a few minutes for us. And then we just communicated to all the coaches and captains. But it should never have got to that, really, because Joe, as you know, you helped us set up a little flag system where if you've paid, you've got a little green tick on your name. If you've paid something but not all of it, you've got a yellow tick. And if you still owe all your money, you've got a red tick. So anyone that was a yellow tick after December, when the final payment was due, shouldn't have been able to play. But unfortunately, we rely on our captains and coaches to do that for us, because I can't be at 18 pitches on a Saturday with a clip with my phone just going, you can, you can't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Last game of the season, our men's twos, two of them hadn't paid, and I happened to be umpiring before them. So I walked up to the coach and said, these three guys can't pay, not play. He had a bit of a meltdown, but they all paid straight away and they were allowed to play. So it does work. It was just their admin. They bought me a beer as well.
Absolutely. So as you can see, so those who are watching the screen share, Ben just show us where that little payment sign is. So on the top right of their profile, you just get a little red pound sign, but you also get that in the team sheet as well. So if you were a captain or a manager of that team, you would see in your team list without having to go into the payment center, because you can see it directly from your app on your phone, who is and who isn't up to date with their membership fees. So I assume that's been pretty handy in some ways.
Yeah. But you do need to tell your captains and coaches how to do that and about it. We just our state was kind of assuming that would be pretty obvious because we sent an email out or whatever. But if anyone does do that, do just make sure that you have some sort of like TMO training session amongst yourselves, is what I would recommend, so that everyone understands what the different things mean.